Hey folks, and welcome back here to Flexline Productions. We bring you the conclusion of the 31st Annual City of Mobile Championships. We're in our third and final round with our lead card to determine who will be our champion. This coverage is brought to you, of course, by Saraland Pharmacy, who's been helping us out all event long. We appreciate their support. My name is Dustin, Mouret, and joining me is once again local pro JC Rohe. Sir, how's it going?
Can't complain, man. I'm looking forward to some good golf and some strong competitors as we got Ezra Robinson leading the pack at 21 under. M.A.D.G.A making a new appearance making a reappearance at 19 under. Newcomer Casey White and returning Clay Edwards at both at neg 18.
Yeah, he's been on the coverage every single round, playing some consistent golf. But like you said, everyone's tightly packed up there at the top as we head in the hole one.
Yeah, hole one. Back at the Admiral, par 4, 525 feet. You have the two options off the tee. Most players are probably going to opt for the hyzer, but if you want to get frisky, you can go inside and bite off more off the tee shot.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to our final round, lead card action. First on the tee box with 21 under par from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Y'all give it up for Ezra Robinson.
Yeah, Ezra representing Prodigy Disc, ranked 15th in the PDGA World Rankings and 19th in the UDIS World Rankings. Multiple top 5 finishes at elite or higher events last year on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Also was 15th at Worlds. Came into this tournament fresh off a 16th place finish at the Chess.com Invitational and is rated just under 1040. Very strong competitor.
Yeah, and he blasts one up the middle, kind of kicks off right, so he
All
should still
right,
have a look.
next on the tee box, right here, Creole, Alabama, shooting 19 under par. Y'all give it up for M.A.D.G.A.
Orum representing Westside Disc, currently ranked in the top 10 in both the PDGA and the UDIS World Rankings. Of course, grabbed his first elite win on the Disc Golf Pro Tour last year at the MVP Open. Fresh off a 6th place finish at the Chess.com Invitational. He's a 7-time City of Mobile champion. So he would be going for his 8th City of Mobile title today, and he has won the last 3 in a row, so this would be the 4th if he could get it done.
Yeah, and he opts for that hyzer. I like how he and Ezra both kind of gave their own rendition of the Tiger Sunday. Red.
All right, third on the tee box for our lead card, shooting 18 under par from Shirley, Massachusetts. Now give it up for Casey White.
Casey White representing Discmania. He was fresh with a top 20 finish at the Chess.com Invitational. He placed top 10 at Waco right after this tournament. Had a 7th place finish at Ledgestone last year. Had a few top 25 finishes at Disc Golf Pro Tour as well. So definitely a solid competitor.
And he kind of pulls it a little right, kicks down. Should still have a pretty easy up and down to get that
rounding
par.
out our final card. Also shooting 18 under par from Matthews, North Carolina. Y'all seen him already. Give it up for Clay Edwards.
As Tate said, he has been on coverage every round. He was on the feature card after shooting the hot round during the flex start at the Admiral. Topped that during the opening round of the tournament and has stayed with us since. Representing Castaplaster rated 10-12. 14 career MPO wins since 2018.
And he throws a berg on every hole. Just kidding. Just a little inside there for Clay. Fortunate to stay in the fairway.
Definitely better conditions today than the first round that they played the Admiral, so we're hoping for some better scoring.
Yeah, the wind is down, the rain's gone, and
Oh, dude, come on.
That's tough.
I'm just trying to pick a gap to throw through, and comes inside. I was mistaken. Clay actually found the rough on the left side.
Yeah, again, this course shows his teeth wide away. This is a par 4 that you really have to work for. Some tight lanes, definitely get in some trouble. But it really sets the tone for the Admiral, which is a John Houck design, pretty technical wooded course that requires a lot of accuracy and really test all of your skills throughout your round.
So Clay pushing it pretty far right. He'll have probably a forehand look into the green. Casey down here to the left, just in front of where Clay was. He might be able to throw a turnover forehand and get it to flex out.
Yeah, he is looking at bogey and potentially a double at this point. Just struggled off the tee and has just really been trying to fight his way to the green ever since. As this is Clay Edwards throwing his 3rd shot, trying to get up and down for par. Has a pretty good lane to do it.
Yeah, he didn't go as far right as I thought.
Really well done. Wow. Beautiful shot. And now we're at the M.A.D.G.A. Looking to try to get up and down for birdies. Got the pure in hand. Looking it through a little, just straight, the slight turnover, I feel like.
A little one-stepper.
Yep. Beautiful. And a good kick.
Yeah, if you had a silhouette of that shot, I'd imagine everybody could guess that was Matt.
Oh, yeah. Ezra with a beautiful approach shot as well here, looking for birdie. Maybe a little more, actually, there for a second. As they're going to be neck and neck all day, you feel like. M.A.D.G.A trying to defend his home turf, but Ezra Robinson, a strong competitor, looking to steal a win away.
Yeah, he did shoot the hot round in round 1, Ezra.
Yep, 11 under par.
And M.A.D.G.A is just always a contender out here.
Yeah, I feel like M.A.D.G.A might have the course record at Admiral, and I want to say it's somewhere between 12 and 14.
Yeah, in this particular layout with the shortened hole 8 and hole 11, it's a little different, but
Yeah, exactly. That is true. As Matt will strike first with the birdie, but Ezra should match and keep that 2-stroke separation. Casey White, unfortunately, is going to slip down the totem pole a little bit on this hole, but Clay Edwards should be able to keep himself in position with par. Yeah, tough double there for Casey's going to set him back right away. Can't afford any more mistakes, really.
As we move into hole 2, 252 feet, soft hyzer. Do this gap. You don't want to let it go too early or too late. You have a really tight gap off the tee, as you can see here. Just punch a nice neutral putter out there on a hyzer and let it fall in.
Yeah, again, sometimes these trees right off the tee can get in your head a little bit, but other than that, it's just kind of a stock, slow, fading putter or mid, and Ezra illustrates it perfectly there.
Yeah, I think that was a P Model US from him.
Yep, M.A.D.G.A is going to keep it with the pure again. Kind of his straighter throwing putter of choice these days. That'll do.
It's a very pure shot there from Matt.
Unironically, this might be a Berg from Clay Edwards, but it could be a Rico as well. It's kind of the other throwing putter of choice for a lot of Casa Pass players.
Yeah, it's a Rico. I can
Okay.
read it on the disc there.
I got there eventually. And we're just out here throwing dimes right now on this lead card. Really?
Pretty
Okay.
unorthodox choice here.
It is,
turn
yeah.
over forehand.
I guess a tactic is probably what Casey's throwing here.
Really popping it over there and hoping the disc fights out. Little short on the turn, but still a look.
I don't know that I've ever really seen that option off the tee, but I know that Casey is a player who likes to throw forehands.
Right.
I don't know that I'd call him forehand dominant, but it's his preferred shot.
It's probably more comfortable to hit the gap with
Exactly,
that, so.
that too. Trying to put the P2 in there, but is going to come up short. Have to settle for par on this one.
Yeah, the rest of these guys are going to clean up easy birdies. As I mentioned in round 1, you definitely want to get majority of the par 3s out here and try not to bogey as Matt's disc decides it doesn't want to come with him.
Is that a stroke?
Hole 3, another par 3 at 246. You're trying to pick your gap off the tee, either going forehand hyzer or maybe backhand putter. You have to worry about this fast green. So distance control is key.
And we see kind of a more rare play, backhand turnover to the left gap, but it works out perfectly for Ezra, who has got M.A.D.G.A hot on his heels, but he is not giving up any ground yet. Beautiful play so far from him these first 3 holes. M.A.D.G.A's looking the match. Got Warden in hand. He's probably going to go right lane dead straight. At least that's going to be his goal.
A little right.
Sneaks on through. Yep. Closer. Now we got forehand here from Clay, and he's got a forehand. If you haven't watched the first 2 rounds, go watch. He's really good with it. I think this is a stall, kind of an overstable 9-speed.
I believe you're right.
I'm probably pronouncing it wrong because it's in a different language, but I tried. That'll work.
Yeah, we're in Alabama. It's a stall, y'all.
Yeah. There's like some weird circle over the A, so it's probably like pronounced completely differently.
It's an umlaut.
Yeah. No, it's not. But, yeah. And so we got maybe MD5 or something like that here from Casey. Could also be a tactic.
Good play there.
Yeah, whatever it was good.
As you can see, the gallery is really starting to pick up here on this Sunday, and Casey just asking for them to stop moving.
Works out for him too. Apparently it's called a ring, just the circle above the letter A in Swedish. They would not have expected that. We're going to see a good putt there from Clay Edwards as well to give himself a birdie, keep himself in the hunt at the top.
Looks like we'll have a star from here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Tap in for Ezra, drop in for Matt. Oh, he actually putted it. This coverage is brought to you by Saraland Pharmacy, one of the biggest disc golf stores in southern Alabama. They have a wide variety of new and used equipment, so they can definitely take care of all of your disc golf needs. Be sure to check them out.
As we head over into hole 4, par 5, 818 feet. Most players are going to opt for the gap as the drone flies, hyzering in either before or after this wall of trees, setting yourself up into this gap right here. Very eagle par 4 if you can get the best placement off the tee, but this hole definitely has a lot of teeth if you can't stay on the fairway.
Yeah, look, you just play something kind of wide right and then crash in left. Try to get yourself in the center position. Definitely don't want to be inside left.
Ezra's kind of going towards that inside.
Oh no, that's going to be tricky from there. As M.A.D.G.A may have seen a little blood in the water after watching that tee shot. Feels like he might be able to get something done here. Maybe gain one if he can throw a pure tee shot. And that is money.
It needs to sneak through.
And it does. He kind of gets caught on that left side too, though. It's going to be tricky. Probably still can birdie from there, no problem, but takes eagle off the board, I think. Good line here from Clay.
Potential to do the same, but possibly got caught up by the trees there. Imagine this is a DD3 from Casey.
Yeah, probably C-line DD3. Could maybe also be a C-line FD1.
Could be.
As we are going to see that Clay's in a pretty good position here. He actually could unleash on one and try to go for the eagle here. He's got the loots in hand.
Yep. I believe this is pretty similar to his position in round 1, maybe a little bit off the trees.
Yeah, loot just being kind of a neutral 9 speed, but just put a little too much hyzer on it. Kicks left. This is Ezra, who's just likely going to have to waste a stroke just getting back to the fairway.
If he gets a good play here, birdie's still in play.
Yeah, still very possible to get up and down from there. What's M.A.D.G.A thinking here? Not sure if he's thinking forehand roller or just kind of a pop-out forehand or what here. I think this is his orbit grace. I can't really tell.
About a foot away from being a really good shot.
Still pretty solid, though. He's going to get birdie from there. Well done from Casey White. Again, definitely a good practitioner of the forehand. Got the angle right there. And yeah, Ezra actually definitely has a shot to attack for birdie from here. You can just keep it in this right lane. Ooh.
So real pulled on that.
And a chance for M.A.D.G.A to get a stroke now.
So Clay's going to have to get a little tricky with this flex forehand from a knee if he wants to birdie this hole.
And the left lane's just so much tighter on this hole compared to the right lane, and he doesn't really make much progress. He's caught right up in the middle there.
He's opting for this skinnier gap on the right side because it opens up more and probably feels a little more comfortable with the turnover forehand.
Yep. He got caught up early again, though.
Circle's edge look for par there. So yeah, Matt kicked off right. I wasn't sure.
It's kind of a nasty spot to be.
Right, so he's going to have to get a little tricky as well if he wants to birdie.
I think as long as he can just get out of this and make a bit of progress, he should be able to get up and down for birdie. But it's just going to be about punching out of this situation and making sure he's in a, open lane. Oh yeah, that'll do it.
There you go. Had a little window there. Does a real good job of getting up there for a look.
That's Ezra's pitch up to try to go ahead and secure par on the hole.
Casey just with this little chip shot to get up there for a birdie.
And count it. Really well done. As with him being, 7 strokes behind, he's definitely got to, make moves right away. Great putt from Clay Edwards. A safe par on this hole. Here's M.A.D.G.A for birdie, a chance to gain a stroke and make the separation just 1, heading into hole 5. And he gets it done, closing the gap right away.
Great putt there from Ezra.
Yeah, certainly a tester. And, you got the pressure on you of Matt having already secured birdie, but he'll keep that 1-stroke lead.
And a great birdie from Casey there.
Absolutely. Especially considering the position he was in off the tee.
For sure. Hole 5, back to the par 3s at 249. Most players are probably going to opt for a flex forehand or backhand up the left gap just to give themselves a look for birdie.
And M.A.D.G.A has been electing to go for this backhand route, just kind of right up the middle with the pure. Maybe just kind of bump and run a little bit. This is fading a decent bit, actually.
Yeah, kind of kicks off right, so gives an opportunity for Ezra to make up that stroke he just lost.
Yeah, I feel like he was probably expecting like a little bit more flip up from the pure. As this is probably MD5 from Casey White.
Judging by the flight, I would agree.
Yeah, beautifully done. I know sometimes he goes FD3 on this hole, but that's kind of more for an ace run and more risk of going way too deep. Beautiful slow turning shot here from Ezra.
Yeah, gets caught up with that little root right there to not have the tap in, but that should be no problem for him.
Yep, he'll right away have an opportunity to regain that separation from M.A.D.G.A at 2 strokes, depending on what Matt's left with. As Clay's trying to keep himself in the hunt, you know, he's just a few strokes off. Still a lot of holes left to play. Oh, okay, then Clay Edwards. That'll work.
Yeah, it was a very similar shot that he had in round 1, but fortunate to connect with metal there. So not necessarily count Matt out yet, but now you can for the stroke.
Yeah, for this hole, he's done for. But he'll have a tap in par. But Ezra will be able to get the separation back to 2 strokes. So we're right back to where we started as we head into hole number 6. Tap in birdie here for Casey White. Again, he's got to go on a heater to kind of catch up.
Yeah, this will get him on the par for the first time this round.
Yeah. Now puts him 6 behind the lead. But still lots of golf to be played. Clay putting himself in the conversation, just 4 strokes off.
We move into hole 6, par 4, 611 feet. Most players are going to opt for this hyzer route over the red tee and try to get into this gap right here and then have a routine upshot to the basket. This is a pretty straightforward hole, just as long as you stay in the fairway.
It's straightforward, but it's still, you know, a difficult shot to stay in that lane, dead center. Slowly drift left. Oh, yeah. I would still say it's a challenging tee shot. Great rip here from Casey White. A little more left than he wants to be, but...
Yeah, it's going to be a little aggravating to have it be right in front of that tree. I mentioned I played with Ezra in round 1, and he absolutely blasted it.
Dude.
Just like this, in the rain.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty easy pitch up for birdie from there for
One of
him.
the furthest shots I've seen on this hole.
Yeah, Ezra smashes. No doubt about it. Again, one of the... I would say he's top 15 in the world right now. I think that's a fair assessment.
In play or distance?
Both.
Play for sure.
I'll play.
Clay plays a nice little hyzer around there.
Yeah. Yes, sir. That's great.
Solid shot here from Matt, like the orbit drive. Might be old Julio Jones. Unless Julio Jones got 2 beat in, then he might have swapped to a new one. I know he was calling that disc Julio last year.
Clay has got to have one of the smoothest standstill forehands.
I wish I had even slightly close to as good of a standstill forehand as he has. It would save me a lot of strokes. he's definitely clean with it. Matt.D.A. just a little pure up shot.
Yeah, as soon as he let it out of his hand, he didn't like the release, but he gets away with one.
Yeah, he does. A little bit of a tester putt, but does have a look for birdie nonetheless. And yeah, this is a little Annie forehand, probably with like a tactic or something here from Casey White.
I think even if he was in the same position as Matt, he would probably do the same exact thing.
He loves the forehand approach shot. Like, that's his go-to, so I'm not surprised to see it. And yeah, does well with it. Interesting. This actually puts Ezra at like the kind of Heiser line approach. But no problem.
Absolutely, no problem.
So everyone has a chance at birdie here, but some have some longer putts. And the first one will strike. And the star frame is on the cards. What, Matt probably has like a 25-footer here or so? Maybe a little longer?
Yeah, maybe a little longer. 25 at least. Slightly downhill.
Count it. Keeping himself on the heels of Ezra, but Ezra likely will drop in birdie himself and still keep it at 2 strokes. Casey's doing everything that he can to gain ground here, as he has to look at birdie here. And so star frame it is, it looks like. And there you have it. Really well played hole from the lead card.
Barring no spit outs.
This coverage is brought to you by Saraland Pharmacy, one of the biggest disc golf stores in southern Alabama. They have a wide variety of new and used equipment, so they can definitely take care of all of your disc golf needs. Be sure to check them out.
All right, that brings us into the treacherous hole 7. Par 3, 286 feet. You got 2 gaps off the tee, left or right. Downward sloping fairway to this OB water. If you do go OB off the tee, you do have to go to a drop zone. Any shots after that go in the water will be played point of exit.
Yeah, definitely a very tricky hole in relation to par. A lot of times you're trying to lay up just short of this water. Casey's done it very well. But now you're left with either a death birdie putt or laying up for par. So that's what makes the hole tricky. And obviously if you overshoot your target, you go on the water and then you're death putting for par from the drop zone. So
yeah, so he finishes off pretty left, probably pretty short as well.
no, makes the layup even harder to get your par. This might be like a yarn or something maybe from Clay Edwards. It's kind of the approach disc from Castaplast, but I know Castaplast also allows people to throw molds from other companies too, so not quite sure. Looks like this is Orbit Ati from M.A.D.G.A.
Let's kind of give it a little nose up. Dump shot here.
Uh-oh.
Needs to settle.
I see some trickles in the water. That was nearly perfect.
But still, yeah, I was gonna say, still Ezra with an option to pitch up or go, and he'd never even crossed the island, I don't think, so.
No, he's in trouble. He kind of gifted Maddie one there after he went out to be off the tee. Yep, that'll be par for Edwards. Again, that's the thing about this hole. Even laying up for par feels tricky.
So Matt might run this to try to gain a stroke.
Yeah, you could maybe get the par here. Did he go in? Or is he safe?
I see water. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
See ripples.
I think he might have went OB, yeah. So he might be taking double. Wow.
What a crazy turn of events.
Again, it just shows you how tricky this hole can get. You decide to go for a putt, it doesn't go your way, all of a sudden you're looking at strokes. But Casey White, on the other hand, through it all, finds the birdie. A rare birdie at that for this hole. I mean, you just don't see him too often on hole 7.
Yeah, it's a very, very tough hole to get the birdie, even to get the par, really.
Is Casey the only birdie on hole 7 for the day, out of curiosity?
We actually had 6 birdies on the round.
Wow, okay. More than I would have expected. Ezra will sink the putt, but it's still going to cost him some damage.
Yeah, 6 birdies out of a 64 person field, so. So yeah, Matt did go out of bounds. Takes the double bogey, loses 1 to Ezra.
Yeah, because Ezra winds up hitting the bogey putt. So.
Moves us into our first change of the typical Admiral layout. Hole 8, par 3, 479. Conditions are down, so look for these guys to rip one up there, possibly to get into the circle for a birdie look.
Yeah, this used to be from the blue tee as a par 4, very soft par 4. Now it's a more difficult par 3, with it playing also uphill, so it plays longer than what the 479 would indicate.
Yeah, Casey just getting a little too much on this one, burns it over. Should be an easy up and down for par, though, as it's wide open out there.
Yeah. What became a hole that was a must-get birdie has now become kind of a bonus birdie hole. With this change, we're going to see Clay Edwards up.
Getting a little better flex than he did in round 1.
Yep, circle 2, it looks like.
Thank you.
Ezra, I imagine, has a good chance of finding the circle here. Definitely has the power to get there. Oh, yeah.
He gets it out wide.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no!
You gotta be kidding me.
Jinx from the future? Like, I don't know. And so Matty O also certainly has a distance to get there. This is his new disc, the Prince, which I believe is a 12-speed, slightly overstable driver coming from West Side soon. Not out yet to the public. He's been liking it a lot. That's low.
The ground is hard packed, so he could get the skip up, and he does. Yeah, that's
Beautiful.
And the gallery loves it.
Yeah, I mean, he is the, of course, hometown hero coming from Creola, Alabama, just up the road from Mobile. And again, he's a 7-time City of Mobile champion. He's won it the last 3 in a row. So people are certainly rooting for him to defend the home turf.
All right, Casey gives that one a decent bid, but comes up a little short. Ezra not quite committed to the run there. Didn't like it right out of his hand.
Yeah, so this is a chance for Matt to get it back to just a 2-stroke separation as we start wrapping up the front 9 of this final round.
Clay just over the top.
So pars galore, which again is not surprising after seeing the change to this hole. But Matt has a drop-in birdie after a nice little skipping tee shot. Any idea how many birdies they had on hole 8 for this round?
One more than hole 7. They had 7 birdies.
Okay. I guess in the better conditions, it was a little easier to get compared to day 1.
Right, yeah, round 1 there were only 2.
Yeah.
So.
That's kind of how I took the hole to play. It's definitely a tougher birdie to get as a par 3.
Don't worry, Maddie. We'll get out of your way.
I love Casey, man. He's such a cool dude. He actually filmed the video here last year coming through and decided this time to play the tournament.
I definitely like the flight of that white one better than the blue one.
That brings us into our final hole of the front 9, par 3, 273. Gonna blast this one straight at the basket through the gap, low ceiling. Some players may go for the forehand, but I imagine most players will take the up the middle route.
Yep, definitely another hole you can kind of just play under the low ceiling and kind of bump and run your way up there. Usually mid-range for most players.
Probably a pine there from Matt.
Yeah, that's kind of his go-to flexing mid-range. And it gets there perfectly. You never know what Matt's going to say. And that's what makes him such a fun person to watch. He also happens to be really good. That helps too.
Yeah. Maybe MD or MD3 here from Casey.
Yeah, that's probably a safe bet. Looked a little too stable for being MD1. I don't know anything about Casaplas mid-ranges, so I'm not even going to guess. I think they have like the Goida and the Spez, but the Spez is super understable, so I doubt it's that.
You know more than I do.
I try. Actually, I have a buddy who likes to throw a lot of Casaplas, so I've seen some of his stuff.
And fun fact, this is a really stable M4 here from Ezra.
Okay. Yeah, it is pretty stable for an M4.
Bro, you are sucking.
And just kind of filters a little left. I'll still have a look, but
It's a tough one. You can tell him having to slide his back foot out this way. Not a typical putt, and you can tell he just wasn't comfortable. And so now Matt will shrink the lead just to 1 as we finish the front 9, it seems. Oh, man.
couldn't get that one to fall, unfortunately.
That was one of those 50-50s on the way down, and just happened to fall out on him.
Casey pushing it a little deep here.
Yeah. And a little high on the putt. Definitely going to be a little bit disappointed with that one.
So again, Matt's going to take the only birdie here.
Yeah. So just now 1 back of Ezra. A little bit more separation away from Casey. And Clay as well. And so that'll do it for our front 9 of our final round here at the 31st Annual City of Mobile Championships. As the lead card has a pretty tight race going on for the championship. So we appreciate you all tuning in. Please be sure to follow and subscribe here at Flexline Productions to catch the rest of the coverage as well as future tournaments. So we take one last look at the scoreboard. You can see M.A.D.G.A trying to claw his way back and defend his home turf. Just 1 stroke behind Ezra. Clay and Casey certainly still in the mix. And we'll see you here shortly. I'm Dustin Mouret, and with me is J.C. Rohe, and we'll see you here soon.